Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a 43mm white gold edition of 5 pieces launched in 2013. This is the Bethune DB16 Tourbillon Regulator. Yes, I can see the hands are coaxial, not split as on a conventional regulator. But here's the thing. This watch is not designed to be like a conventional regulator. The idea is that it evokes the mother clocks of vintage watchmaking studios that would be exceptionally precise and thus used to set or regulate watches and clocks being serviced. Now that you have the basic idea, let's talk about the basic dimensions. The watch is 43mm in diameter by 14.6mm thick by 48.5mm lug-to-lug, with a 22mm spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and as you can see, it's relatively short across the wrist for such a large watch. It's thick, and although it's not going to fit underneath all dress cuffs, it will fit underneath some. You can see it would just about fit underneath my shirt cuff, easily fitting underneath a jacket or a sport coat of any kind. I recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. Here's over the top, here's down the barrel, and one more look at the cuff shot. Bethune has made fewer than 3,000 watches since it was founded in 2002, and it makes about 200 to 220 a year now. So you get a sense of the rarity of the brand's watches in general. Again, only 5 looking like this in white gold, a very special opportunity. The strap, which is a factory piece, is medium rectangular scale alligator leather on the top, and on the bottom, small round scale. It's black with a monotone stitch. And you can see that the edge is actually, though it looks sheer cut, it's actually folded over. The idea of having gator on both sides is that without calfskin on the bottom, which is the cheaper alternative and more common, the double gator strap will last longer. The watch is white gold, and so is the branded buckle. You can see it's branded and satinated on its underside. This is the original DB1 case shape that founding partner David Zanetta created for the original 2002 DB1 chronograph, the original Bethune watch. And though this watch was launched in 2013, it retains that original case shape for a specific reason. This watch is from the lineage of the DB15 and DB17, and so it retains the case profile of those, even though by the time this watch came out, the DB25s and the DB28s were already common in the catalog alongside the 27s. So this is a very vintage look for Bethune, but it was retained specifically because the lineage of this watch dates back to the earliest case designs. Now, they make their own cases, their own dials, and their own movements, which is very important because like F.P. Journe, they control the whole process. You know where the money is going. It's not going into castles and sports cars. It's going into the product. The case has the distinctive first-generation Bethune case ogival, or torpedo-shaped lug ends, domed case back, domed bezel, and sheer polished mid-case. We have the double-knurled and geometrically faceted crown, and then the dial, which you can see features a blue on silver print to give it a little bit of color and warmth. The dial base is cut on a rose lathe, traditional 19th century style reductive guilloche, but you can see that the rayon or sunburst motif doesn't radiate out from underneath the hands, as is more common in the industry, but from underneath the moon phase. The perpetual calendar is accurate to the year 2100. In the year 2100, and only then, will it have to be reset. You can see that we have a little cosmos under the moon phase, as well as hands at center, both made out of titanium and fired blue, a process that Bethune has patented. We have a spherical moon phase, 1/2 white palladium, 1/2 blued steel. Set it and then forget it. It has an adjustment interval of once every 1,112 years, and yes, it too has been patented. There's a leap year phase indicator underneath the moon phase. For 3 years, it's gold, and then it turns blue for the quantième bissextile, or the leap year. Now, the watch has deadbeat seconds, but unlike most high horology movements here, you pull the crown out, and it does have hacking seconds, and you can set it precisely to a known accurate reference time. Taking a look at the case back, you can see how that's achieved. There is a second locking lever, basically a second escapement underneath a fired blue titanium bridge, and the wheel that governs this is made of 14-karat gold and hand-finished, so very special. Manual wind watch, 96-hour power reserve. There's a little power reserve indicator on the case back. It turns from silver to red as it discharges, and then vice versa as you wind it up. You can see that there are twin self-adjusting barrels, a patented system, 4 days of power reserve. You cannot accidentally overwind the watch. There's a slipping mainspring in one of them to prevent that. We have a retrograding age of the moon indicator that makes it easier to set the moon. You simply toggle the correct age of the moon rather than trying to eyeball it based on the preponderance of white and blue. And of course, it is a retrograde. We have a tourbillon that is patented, both the balance wheel and the escapement. The tourbillon carriage, which weighs 0.18 grams, is the lightest in the world, and it helps this watch achieve a factory-stated accuracy of plus or minus 1 second a day. It uses their proprietary 2-element hand-formed hairspring, so a flat hairspring with the thinness and shock resistance of a flat hairspring, but with the centered mass and concentric breathing of an overcoil. And yes, it's patented. It's also a 30-second tourbillon. It beats away at 36,000 vibrations per hour like a Zenith El Primero, but the tourbillon takes 2 circuits every minute, so it works twice as fast in terms of its actual rotation compared to a standard wristwatch tourbillon. All of this is 30 meters water resistant, so it's not an aquatic sports watch, but then again, you've got a Grand Sport or a Grand Bleu for that. Now, taking a quick look at the finish, you can see Côte de Bethune laid down across the bridges, laid down by a abrasive wheel. You could see mirrored anglage. You could see black polished screw heads. You could see that there is wonderful hand polishing of the solid gold center wheel that's used for the deadbeat escapement, and then there's frosting on the fired blue bridges. Everything here is to the highest standards of traditional haute de gamme Swiss watchmaking. So though the watch is avant-garde, make no mistake, it is also beautifully executed in detail. This watch has it all. And again, a 5-piece run. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And I have one more detail for you. The watch includes a quick set system for the calendar that allows you to rapidly and easily reset the date as well as the month. Time out, Tim out, and thanks for logging on.